Those who are on, good evening. Those who are on the screen, you can make a video on so you can have a communication. See each one. Hello. That is
Hello,
probably
sir.
the most important what we try to do in these sessions. Interaction between people.
Good evening, sir. How are
Good
you?
evening. Fine. Thank you. Long time.
So this is a good time to see you, and after a lot many days.
Yeah,
Actually, we are interacting on WhatsApp, but
I know.
hopefully most people should interact here. I think there are most of the people from our group, but still nobody is. Most of them are silent people, listeners.
I think few if they come up, it's okay. I think everybody we don't expect to come and talk up. That's fine. There's absolutely no problem. At least they're hearing, and they will come one day with that. So I think, but we are doing a good job. I think I'm seeing Kishore Dande there. It's a very long time, and Dr. Srivastava.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Good morning, good
Dr.
evening.
Gajat Singh.
Syed, has the host disabled our chat with everyone? Because I was just trying to send a message. It just says only to host VIP. It doesn't enable the chat between, let's say, if I wanted to say hello to everyone, it doesn't go.
maybe I didn't set it on. Next time I will do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if the host comes, I will post it straight away. I think you know the host now also who is doing. Everybody is known to you, so I think they will put in public domain only.
Right.
And
once again, I want to thank you again.
Sir, good evening.
What you are doing, and I have been attending all of this. I think I congratulate everyone here again. And this.
Thank you, Dr. Srivastava. It is actually a teamwork. We are all doing it together because the need is there now. So I think with your support, and Deshpande also wrote he will attend now. I think Mamta is already, she joined, she is already there. I think with the great support from you people, I think there's nothing that we can't do. So we will do our best from our side also. And Dr. Indramani has also joined. I think, namaskar. So I think I will start now. So as people join, okay, because some more people are supposed to join. I think they will join. Okay. Yeah, friends, as you know, some of them are new. So I will try to recall in very shortly. Last year, we had some sessions on automation agriculture. It started just to introduce to make the agriculture engineers to get into electronics and technology. We had a very good response. And now 3 sessions we had on conservation agriculture and urban agriculture. I think those who don't know, just shortly I tell you, conservation agriculture is minimal or no tillage. That means no disturbance to the soil. Okay, so now think about puddling, all the stuff, minimal tillage. Second thing is the land must not be barren. It must have some biomass cover. These 2 are important, okay. And the third one is you must rotate the crops. Crop rotation must be there. Only these 3 principles are what you call as conservation agriculture, which many part of the world is following, India a bit less. It has got a lot of advantage. We already talked. Those who want to see it, go back and see our videos. Second one is we have to produce the food where it is required, on demand where it is. So the technology is available now that we know already, protected cultivation, which can be done in the near the urban area. We are not talking, last time also people talked about, we are not talking about in the cities place to come. We are talking nearby cities, just outskirts, maybe even 10, 20 kilometers. but no need to transport things for 200 kilometers, vegetables, and lose around 70-80% of the vegetables in wastage. And we also talked about the need to stop the wastage in our whole agricultural production process we have in India, especially. And also we have a monoculture style, which also we have to stop. So this is all taken care of by these two topics we have selected, and we had excellent response. Actually, I would say we are going to give some more at the end of it. I'm going to tell what we are going to do for the next sessions. A very interesting interactions comes. Now, today we are going to try something of concept. Okay, we're going to try the first time here. See, I have been outside, and I remember once when I was doing on radar sensing for tractors, or before they even slip control, and I could not find much articles in Germany. Okay, so I asked the people. They told me you go to high frequency center in the University of Stuttgart. They will tell you, because they know each other. Most of the universities and industry know what work is going on. So they don't publish any article. So I'm trying to find out. They publish only once in a while the article. It's not a must. Whereas for the same radar sensor I was trying, I could find articles in American news magazines. They are trying to start a research, how the concept of research. So others can learn from that, whatever it is. So, and Japanese also have the concept, we are publishing research paper. Fortunately, unfortunately, Indians, most of the papers we publish for getting promotion or whatever points. Normally, I mean, I think I'm not taking 90%, but I think majority. So I think we know that. I think I sometimes I criticize too much. I think it's not a criticism. I also in the system only. What I'm saying is there are ways of improvement. So we will try to produce youngsters, middle level and youngsters in our country. Agriculture engineers or other agriculture professionals must come out and speak what they are trying to do, what they want to do. This is one concept I think is a must, because when we call for say speakers, whatever it is, only the seniors we are getting. I mean, we have to get the middle level and the youngsters to come up. This is one of the things we have to promote. So with this concept we start. So today we have started with that, and I think I have been talking a lot, so I will give it to somebody else this time for a talk also. We have two speakers and then we have two farmers. And don't leave, because last topic is going to be very interesting. I promise you that, because it comes in line. I will just now hand over to Dr. Indramani to introduce the speaker first. Dr. Indramani, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Syed, for giving me opportunity to introduce my two friends. Dr. Sushma Sudhesri is our colleague at IRI, and she is a principal scientist at Water Technology Center. Senapati ji, please mute.
He put in 2 books, and he has got 6 recommendations.
So
he has teaching experience for almost 20 years, and I have seen this protective cultivation is working.
Senapati ji,
last 4 years. I would request Sandeep Jain.
Hello.
can you mute? Please mute. Somebody is speaking. Please mute yourself.
I
Thank
think
you.
somebody is having it on the YouTube channel also, so that is delayed actually.
Okay. So anyway, I was introducing my own colleague, Dr. Sushma Sudhesri, who is a principal scientist in IARI at Water Technology Center. She is an agricultural engineer and very accomplished lady scientist. I always consider her as a field scientist, because always she takes experiment, a lot of experiment, and she has been put 23 years of service in ICAR, and she has been accredited with a number of awards, including Basant Rao Nayak Award for research work, and she has been a good teacher. In addition, she is a great support to ISAE, Indian Society of Agricultural Engineers. First term, she served 1 term as a secretary, and another term she is serving as secretary too. So I invite Dr. Sushma Sudhesri for her talk, and her topic is very interesting, my dear friends. Biofertigation, she will talk, and actually it is slurry, and I personally have experience of having there was a one mega project on how to save water, so irrigation water, and one of the aspect was slurry, and what we did in addition to means byproduct slurry we consider byproduct, but in our project gas was byproduct, slurry was main product. And if you apply slurry directly to the field, which Dr. Sushma will talk to, and she will talk to fertigation, then it is going to increase the moisture holding capacity of the soil. And our experience is that at least one irrigation you can save in different crops. This is the same line Dr. Sushma will talk on biofertigation and use of slurry in irrigation. Dr. Sushma Sudhesri, please.
Thank you, sir, for your introduction about me. Respected Gajendra Singh sir, Dr. Sahil sir, and my senior and teachers, and my colleagues, juniors, and my dear students. Actually, can I share, sir?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Please share your slides.
Is it visible, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, visible. Yeah.
Yeah, sir, my topic, today's topic is biofertigation in conservation agriculture. And I have added without conservation agriculture also. As in introductory part, Dr. Sahil sir told about the importance of conservation agriculture, and earlier also we have already talked about conservation agriculture. So I will not go in detail about conservation agriculture. So directly I will come to biofertigation and its use with respect to conservation agriculture and also without conservation agriculture. Sir, I can say this is, I am going to present the concept, how to use this biofertigation in drip. And this concept was immersed in my mind during the presentation of webinar series 1, when it was discussed about the biogas slurry. So though some of the works have been done, but not in a systematic manner. So I talked so many times with the Sahil sir and other people also, so how to use this one for drip. So after that, some concept were developed, and I am going to present. Before that, I want to say about, from this table, we can say the cereal production increased from 1950 onwards. Side by side, fertilizer consumption also increased. So due to this, what is happening, as you know, this large scale application of fertilizer nitrogen that affects the groundwater quality, especially its nitrate content, which is harmful to health. So again, some gaseous losses of nitrogen as nitrate and also nitrous resulting from this N fertilization have adverse effects on the environment. That everyone knows what are the different adverse effects on the environment. But use of fertilizers, if when you are using the chemical fertilizers particularly, that at least 50% increase in the crop yield. Now there are some projections. If you see the projections, it is 38% increase in global cereal demand by 2025 can be made by 30% increase in nitrogen use, and there will be 20% yield response. Another side, we are talking about conservation agriculture. As everyone knows, there is an increase in the residue biomass for succeeding crop due to conservation agriculture. And another important is due to conservation agriculture. Since I am working 2011, that is about now more than 9 years. So I am working particularly in water management, and it was observed that there is increase in nutrient use efficiency by 15 to 25%, as well as there is water saving also. It is 50 to 55%. So there is the due to this conservation agriculture, there is the benefit. There is more advantages about this conservation agriculture with respect to your nutrient use efficiency and water use efficiency or water productivity. Similarly, nowadays we are talking about fertigation, and due to this fertigation leads to saving of fertilizer by 25 to 40%. I will come in next slide how it is, what is the effect due to this chemical fertigation. And then due to all these things, so what we will have to think, that is the increase in food grain production with the minimum and efficient use of chemical fertilizer. This is the need in future. So how we'll achieve it? So there is the you can see integrated plant nutrient supply system through using these chemical fertilizers as well as organic manures, crop residues, and biofertilizer side by side. If we use, then we can achieve so many things with respect to nutrients. But if you see, we are talking about a sustainable development goal or sustainable livelihood. And this is not new, but why I am talking here, with respect to your conservation agriculture, without conservation, we are talking sustainable livelihood to be achieved. So we should not ignore the all the four are important. That is water security, food security, nutritional security, and environmental security. All the four has to be go side by side. Then only we can achieve sustainable livelihood. Now you can link these four with respect to my topic, that is biofertigation. Water security in conservation agriculture and other area, we'll have to conserve the water, we'll have to save the water. There are lots of program and also lots of debate are going on. So we'll have to achieve water security as well as food and nutritional security, and moreover with respect to environmental security. So if we'll achieve all these things, then only we can achieve the sustainable livelihood or sustainable development goal. This paper was published during 2021 in sustainability. In this case, if you can see, nutrient use efficiency as a strong indicator for nutritional security. So it shows the importance of this nutrient use efficiency. Now come to the biogas. Total dung produced by animals in India is 730 million. But total slurry produced in India is 76.8 million ton per year. Now we are talking about biogas. But the most important, as Indramani sir told in introduction, biogas is secondary. Now we are talking the biogas digested, that is biogas slurry, is the most important, that is primary, as it is rich in organic matter and plant nutrient, and that is excellent soil amendment. So if you use this biogas slurry as a dry or as such in the field, so there is obviously there is the loss of nitrogen use efficiency through volatilization of nitrogen. Now biogas can be used as alternative source for nutrient instead of chemical fertilizer, that everyone knows, but how to use this? Now you can see how the people are using this, using cow dung cake, as well as in the left side of this photograph, you can see it is nowadays it is used for religious purposes also. Another is it can use for cow dung cake spray. After cow dung, there is some technique through which it is used for spraying in the crops. Now, for this use of this biogas produce, or what I can say produce, means one is gas, another is slurry. Under 12th 5-year plan, Government of India has target to set 6.5 lakh biogas plants across the nation with a budget of 650 crores. That is, the program name is National Biogas and Manure Management Program. In this, there is the biogas production of 1 to 6 cubic meter per day, whereas 4,745 lakh cubic meter per annum biogas can be used. When this much biogas is a target, so accordingly there will be production of biogas digested, that is your slurry, and this has been implemented through different departments. Now you can see nowadays we are talking about more organic farming or natural farming. When you are talking organic farming, there is one problem, that is offensive odors coming due to use of this biogas and other organic waste. You can see in this diagram, there are 4 parameters is used to know the odors of any slurry or anything, biogas, bio waste. When you will use the untreated slurry and treated digested slurry, there is a drastic decrease in odors also. So this is the beauty of using this biogas slurry. Then this separated liquid fraction of this biogas slurry contains high nitrogen, whereas K and total solids is less than 5%. And total solid fraction contains approximately 20% the total nitrogen, 1/3 of total phosphorus, and 15% potassium, and up to 35% total solids. So this shows there is how much this is nutrient rich. Now come to the drip fertigation. Yes, through drip fertigation, we can save water as well as fertilizer. It is known to everyone. And what is fertigation? When you are using fertilizer along with irrigation water, that is fertigation. And due to this drip fertigation, no doubt there is a maximization of crop yield, quality also improved, and minimizing leaching loss. But the most important is safeguards the losses incurred out of diseases and reduce crop prices and unpredictable weather parameters also. But the most problem is there is the clogging problem in the emitters. So all these things, when we are using the slurry or any waste through drip, then there is again there will be more clogging problem. When you are using chemical fertilizer also, there is the problem of clogging. But how we can imagine to use this slurry as a drip fertigation, that is known as your biofertigation through drip. So this is most important, and this through this we have developed some concept, and we are going to work on that. Though just a few days back it has been started, but concept was developed when during your webinar series 1, but it was conducted. So with this background, our objectives are: first is profiling biogas slurry, because like that we cannot go for a designing and filtration system or anything. So first objective our is profiling of biogas slurry, that is a complete standardization and characterization of biogas slurry. That is more important. The next is, once we are characterizing and standardizing the biogas slurry, the next important thing is the comparative evaluation of different approaches to minimize clogging of drip emitter and to maximize available NPK from slurry matrix. So not only to increase the water saving and also to minimize the clogging, side by side, there should be maximum available NPK from this slurry to the plant. So all these things we'll have to look into as a total, so that we can achieve more. Last is appraisal of economic and application feasibility under field conditions. So how we'll achieve? I will go one by one. For profiling of slurry, yes, these are physicochemical properties. Not only this, there are so many 12 to 13 parameters are there. So I have not listed all the parameters here. So all these parameters have to be analyzed before starting the filtration system. Now, second is filter design. What during after webinar series, I have Googled to know how many people have used biogas slurry for drip. I got one video in YouTube. What they have used? Only sedimentation process. There is a tank. After that, when you are using the biogas slurry, after sedimentation, they have taken that water part and they are used for drip. That is there in Maharashtra, but not in a detailed design part. It is not there. One farmer is using, and I have also talked with him how they are doing all these things, and those materials are with me also. That I have taken as a review for developing the system for using this biogas slurry in drip. First, so three systems we are taking. One is design part, that is filter design. Second is particle size reduction mechanically. That means when the particle size of biogas slurry is more, and obviously we know directly it will go to drip, it will clog the emitter. So we'll have to disintegrate, we'll have to break down the particle size. So that particle size will develop the system through mechanically, it will be disintegrated. And another is there are some microbial assistance, that is consortia, through which we'll have to take different combinations and develop the consortia, which will break down the particle size. So all these three designs, the three system we are going to use. One is filter design, second is your particle size reduction, and microbial assistance. So this is one example I have shown for how we are going to do, but there are different filters we are going to apply. We'll have to design. Suppose, for example, there is a tank with that is churning and agitator, and then it will go through different filter system and screens. Then again, at the end, it will come to the outlet. There will be flow at the outlet, that is the clean water. Not 100%, that we do not know how much it will be. That depends on the what we are going to design the filter system. And this is the workflow, how we are planning to do. That is first what I have already told, physicochemical analysis of this standardization, that is a biogas slurry. Then is a filter system design, then mechanical size reduction, then microbe assisted. Through microbe assisted, we'll have to quantify different microbes, and then selection of microbes which don't form the biofilm, which biofilm that actually clogs the emitters, and also and optimizing this microbe testing. So after this, then we'll test the whole filtration system. This may be individually we'll do, and sometimes we'll see also with different combinations how we'll do and which one is the best method for using this biogas slurry in drip. So this is the team we are going to work. First is myself as a soil and water conservation engineer, and Dr. Manoj Khanna sir, and my student, PhD student, and she is also a soil and water conservation engineer, and with collaboration in Egress Engineering, Dr. H.L. Kuswa. So we all do the filter design. And then the second part, the mechanical particle reduction, will be done in collaboration with WTC and agricultural chemicals. This is Dr. Anupama, head agricultural chemicals. So she will do that part. And then from microbiology, and this is Dr. Radha Prasanna, sorry. Microbiology, Dr. Radha Prasanna, and she will do the microbial assistance part. Sorry, sir, 1 minute. And this after filter design, when we are applying in the field, that is crop part as well as the water movement and soil quality, all these things will be observed by Dr. Anchal Das from agronomy, Dr. Khajan Lal from WTC soil scientist, and Dr. K.K. Bandyopadhyay from agriculture physics. So all the discipline, this is a multidisciplinary task we are going to achieve, and because everything will have to do from filter design, mechanical size reduction, microbial assistance, crop, and soil part. So all these things will work. And last, we'll do the performance evaluation and efficiency of the filtration system, testing for clogging sensitivity in drip fertigation, and application feasibility under field conditions. And then also we'll try to find out the fertigation schedule we using this. And at the last, if you'll see, bench scale process under LAF, it will be first developed, then it will go to field study, then it will for industrial collaboration. Then only we can achieve a good thing that how to use this biogas slurry in drip. So our way forward is collaboration with the industry after developing all these things for financial support and upscaling the technology, not only in the lab or field, it will have to be upscale. Then capacity building through doctoral thesis program and multi-level validation through collaboration of NRM institutes of ICR and then agriculture universities or IITs and others. So all these things will have to do the collaboration for its multi-locational testing. Then only we can achieve what is the system for using this fertigation in drip. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Can you please close down the slide share? Thank you. Can yeah, you just close this slide. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Susma. Some people are raising hands. I will take the questions at the last because it's better. We have time for that. It's about this topic. I think we have discussed several times during last 1 year, because she was very keen to find out how to stop the clogging of the nozzles. I put on her with some people who worked on underground irrigation also, and I think I welcome. This will be very useful to use the biogas slurry. Thank you, Dr. Susma.
Thank you.
And thank you very much. I would request Dr. Indramani
Yeah.
now to introduce us next speaker, please.
So thank you, Dr. Sushma, for this new concept and all methodology we presented. Now, friends, we invite Dr. Atul Mohor, and he's an energy man. Namaskar. And he's a PhD in renewable energy resources, and I've been teaching from last 21 years. As a professor and head, I have been interacting with him on different occasions, and in different capacities. And he is a. I was discussing with Dr. Sayyed that despite all, there was problems during first session. There was issues in Maharashtra, but he never, missed the first series of webinar and this series of webinar. That is the commitment. To not only to speak, to listen the others and give your input. Dr. Mohod, we respect you a lot for your all these work, and now I invite you for the talk. Thank you, Dr. Mohod, please.
Good evening to my all respected teachers as well as senior godfathers of the agriculture engineering. I'm not paying my much more time, as Dr. Said gives me 15 minutes to finish the topic. I will just share the slide. Is it visible, sir?
Yes.
So good evening all. Today, sir, when we are talking about the conservation agriculture or control environmental agriculture, or it may be urban agriculture or vertical farming, I'm particularly doing my work on. I started from a big question where I'm staying from last 21 years, but 99% of the vegetables are come from other areas which are around 150-130 kilometers away from my site. Even we had a good land, good environment, water, etc., etc. And when we talk as an engineer, when we talk with the horticulturist or physiologist, then they say our environmental is not suitable for growing of the vegetable in a coastal region. And then certainly the question is why it is so, and they say that we are lagging in the light. The productivity, even if it is Alfonso mango, the productivity of Alfonso mango is the lowest in the world or lowest in the country in terms of the Alfonso. And the basic thing they said that the light which is not available with us. Then as a agriculture engineer, and when we are thinking about the vertical farming or urban farming or control environment agriculture, what is the impact of that light? And based on that one, some studies has been carried out. We are moving for the way forward. I'm just going in detail of that one, what exactly what the importance of the light in that one. The basic principle is if your plant doesn't receive direct light from the sun, fulfill the gap precisely with artificial way. And that artificial way is abundantly available on the websites. But in actual condition, the minimum people are reported, or even in India, I doesn't find much more papers on your even success stories that with the artificial light, where the area which is receiving much more less light which required by the plant. And so if we go for the either it may be a control environment agriculture, either it may be a vertical farming, or it may be a urban farming which takes place on the terraces, which takes place in the balconies, which takes place in the colonies or in the urban areas. Now, the 9 variables of the crop production, in that one I'm only concentrating on the light. And if we look at to the control and agriculture, environment agriculture, or it may be urban farming, or it may be a vertical farming. One of the parameter for that light is less space availability. This is the one of the motive for the urban farming or the vertical farming. Because of the high-rise building in the cities, there may be a shadow, there may be a water scarcity, there may be a soil scarcity, or even there is a social belief is also play an important role in the light. Even though 90% of the flats which are available in the metropolitan cities, people are asking for the east facing flat. And if the east facing flat is there, then from the south and north, there is another flat which is available in the building, and on the western side, they provide you the balcony. So even in a urban farming also, our belief is also getting the obstacles for that one. And one more is, if it is we go for the roof farming, then it is a common roof in a high rising building, and that too with the shadow because of the adjoining building. So availability of the light, also we are giving the, our urbanization is also obstructing it, and light has a very precise role in the crop production. And the precise and optimum light, if I want to give it to the plant, one must study about the photobiology. It's a very confusing, or one can say very difficult for me itself, because I left my biology in the 10th standard to go towards the engineering, and then it revised for the photobiology of the light. And it was clearly that the light which is photobiology, that is the light interact between the light, it is an interaction between the light and the living organism. A chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, or beta carotene required certain amount of the wavelength to get absorbed. And most important is the plant itself discriminated the type of the light as a function of spectrum, intensity, and the duration. The light from the sun, or it may be the artificial, needs a correct wavelength to go for the more productivity. And it has a very complex phenomena. I'm not going in detail of that one. The light plant relationship, that is the photosynthesis reaction sequence, is the crucial for sustainable of whole food chain that may be carried out in a greenhouse, that may be carried out in a control environmental agriculture, it may be in a vertical farming, or it may be a urban farming. And that reactions are photosystem, that is PS, and light harvesting complex. And based on the photobiology, it was come up with the scientist, as photobiology scientist has come up with that one. The chlorophyll absorb mostly the red and blue wavelength. The red light, that is 625 nanometer to 675 nanometer, and the blue light 450 to 485 drives the photosynthesis process. This is the most important one, that is the red and blue combination is required for that one. And for the better yield, optimum yield, at least a plant required 10 to 14 hours of the photo period with the different wavelength of that. And it was reported that increasing a certain flux level of a blue light can increase the photosynthesis efficiency by 10 to 25% in the crop production system. So looking toward this one, light itself has a sunlight, it may be a sunlight, or it may be an artificial light which is given by in a vertical farming or in a control environmental agriculture. The light has its own perception, as well as the plant has a prominent space because of the light. And the perception of the light is perceived by network of photoreceptor by the by photomorphogenesis process. The plant track the time of the day and even season itself with the help of their own mechanism, with the help of circadian rhythm. The photochromes absorb the red light at a certain wavelength with the red as well as the far red light with the 730 nanometer. And this ratio play an important role in the stress of the plant. And before going, as an engineer, before going for any experimentation on a vertical farming or the urban farming, we must know the perception and the stress of the light. And very prominent phenomena in the light, stress of the light, is that the midday dispersion. This figure itself shows, even though light is available at a very higher level of PPFD, that is, we come in forward, what is meant by PPFD and what is meant by CO2 assimilation. Then also the CO2 assimilation is not takes place and it will in the reduction process. That means that itself means the plant itself govern their own mechanism to track the sun, to track the time of the day, as well as the intensity of the light. And it was observed that during the morning session up to 10 o'clock, it goes on rising pattern. Whereas in the afternoon, as soon as the sunlight intensity is higher one, then it will reduce itself in the downward manner. And excess light that itself gives you the stress on the light. So the stress of the light, either it may be excess or either it may be a low. And particularly, I am dealing with the low light. The excess light is also decrease the photosynthesis efficiency. Every plant, every species has their own light saturation point, which decrease as soon as the plant reaches its light saturation point, it decreases the CO2 assimilation and the plant growth. That is the disadvantages of excess light also. The plant protected themselves from the intense illumination by wasting the energy. And in that one, the budding or the leaves formation or the fruit formation takes place. Whereas the area I'm working or I'm dealing with the area, which is a low sunshine area, hilly region area, cloudy area, where there is a problem of the low light area. And in that low light, if no appropriate flux of the photons is available, even the sunlight is maybe available, but the photon flux are not available, the plant's ATP, that is the androcyanic triphosphate or nucleotide production, that productivity is lower down with the low light area. And if the low light area prolong, the program of the leaf sequences is initiated and ultimately the plant died. So light is having a very important major parameter or a factor which affect the crop production inside the vertical farming or the urban farming. Now the question is how much light is required and how to measure that one. And before going for the automation, there are certain terminology which is used for the light measurement for the photosynthesis. And the first one is that is called as the PAR, that is photosynthetically active radiation. And the range of the light having a wavelength of 400 to 700 nanometer, that is treated as a PAR light. And that we say that it is a human see the lumens. The lumens which is available for from 400 to 700, that light is called it as a photosynthetically active radiation. Now only the PAR is not available. I require the quantity of that one, and that is called as we call in a light theory, it is called as photosynthetic photon flux, that is micromoles per second. And it is the total amount of PAR which is having a range of 400 to 700, that is produced by the lighting system, maybe the artificial, maybe the natural, in each second. The quantity of that one or the per meter square area, that is the parameter which is measured, the design parameter for the plant, and that is the ppfd, that is the photosynthetic photon flux density unit surface area, how much is the ppf is available. And throughout the day, that is the photo period, that is the DLI, that is the daily light integral, how much moles of the light is available per meter square area per day, that will be received by the crop for the optimum crop productivity. And this light is measured with a quantum sensor, and that is commercially available at the cost of around 70,000 rupees to measure the ppfd of the light which is available falling on the plant. And now if we look at that one, the propagation of the flux and cutting for the plants, it required around 8 to 12 moles per meter square per day, that is micromole is converted into mole, and based on the total second in a day of a photo period. The bedding plant is required 10 to 12 moles per day. Vegetable hydroponic litters required 15 to 17 moles per meter square, whereas tomato is required 20 to 30 moles per meter square per day for the maximum yield. And it was observed that the increase in yield up to 34% was reported in lettuce, as well as the strawberry production was increased by 66% with optimum light, that too in a outside the country. It was not reported anywhere in India that with artificial lighting, the production is increased or decreased one. There are number of sources are available for the providing the lighting. These all you, as an engineer, you know, condensed lamps, halogen lamp, fluorescent tube light, high pressure sodium lamp, metal halide lamp, induction lamp, and most recently in the commercial market, it is available. That is the full grow LED lighting systems. These are nowadays reported for the growing of the plant inside the house or even a vertical farming, urban farming, or in a controlled environment. Before going for the lighting system, how much will be the lighting system requirement at a commercial basis or a feasible basis? One must know what will be the available with us. The sunlight intensity of 900 to 1500 ppfd is available in nature. At summer noon, it is around 2000. It increases up to 2000 ppfd. Whereas in a cloudy winter day, it reduced to the around 50, and cloudy monsoon days around it is 20 ppfd. This much is the lower one. How much will be the required from the plant? Then the seeding and small plant required 100 to 200 ppfd. Vegetable growth required 400 to 600 ppfd, whereas flower and fruit development required 900 ppfd. And more critical is that after 9 ppfd of the photosynthetic photon flux density, plants won't be able to use all the lights. And photo period of 12 to 18 hours are required for the most of the plants, whereas most of the plants required dark period of 12 to 6 hours of the dark period for their synthesizing of the photosynthesis requirement. This is the overall picture. On commercially, the LED lightings are available. There are certain capacities of the light. How much is the quantity of the light is required per square feet or for the per plant, or what will be the comparison of the light in terms of the cost, in terms of the energy utilized for that one, and what will be the cost, total cost. But all these costs are available from the foreign literature or outside literature. For the Indian condition, I doesn't saw any report that for this particular condition, because we say that we are blessed with the sunlight, but some of the areas are there, or some of the urban areas required appropriate lighting, and for that purpose we required to study how much light is required at what height, what will be the intensity, and what will be the cost of the production for that one. It is the commercially LED lighting which is available, grow lighting is available, that, and it says that around 32 watt to cover 1 square feet of the for the flowering with 38% so saving over the metal halide lamps. This is all are given claims by the companies or those who are selling on the Amazon or Alibaba or most of the marketing sites. This is the certain chart which light, how much number of plants required, how much area in the particular area, and how much will be the wattage required. Based on that one, we can estimate the amount of energy requirement. Commercially, if full spectrum grow light from the Oswal as well as some other players are also there, and a 250 watt LED grow light panel is suitable. What they claiming is suitable for the vegetative cover of 4 by 3.5 feet. So on around 18 watt per square feet is the amount of lighting which is proposed by the commercial people. It may be depending upon the situation to situation, and that comes to be around 150 watt hour per square feet per day. So this cost is also we have to go taking into consider if we want to use the lighting system. Based on all these things, instead of believing on the commercial systems and marketing sites and all these things, I tried on personal basis. Professor Kishore Dhande is with me for the fabrication. We fabricate one unit of a hydroponic unit having 2 layers of vertical farming with soilless media, and we try to grow a spinach in an indoor condition inside the room. In my cabin, we try to grow the spinach for the with the help of artificial light. I will just share that this is the simplest system which we developed in our own engineering workshop with a 90 mm PVC pipe. Number of plants which can place here is 48. Additionally, we made the 2 systems. If it is a solar panel, it is to be used in that one. Then we
We lost him. I don't know. Atul, I cannot hear. Atul, you.
Dr. Dande, can you please continue?
Yeah. Kishore?
Hello.
Yes. Okay, I think we lost him. Maybe the connectivity problem. So we'll take him back. Kishore Dande, you are there now. You can speak. Kishore.
Sir, I was just involved in doing a fabrication work for him so that
Okay.
he can assemble. I have not
Okay.
work on that.
Okay. Thank you, Kishore. So, okay, we will take him in next time when he joins back a little bit. Now we'll move to the second one. Very interesting. So we'll go to the next session. We are going to have very interesting session now. We are going to have two farmers, and the first one, the farmer, I'm going to call first, and of course others will introduce also. Is two things in common. One is he's from Bulandshahr. I myself had been to Bulandshahr, and I know a person who is from Bulandshahr. My guru is from Bulandshahr, and I'm going to introduce a guy who's from Bulandshahr. Second one is he's also a colonel from army, from the Mech infantry, and I know him already there before. And 21 years he served in the army, just in short, and then he came back. He went to the Bulandshahr and tried to work. In short, I will tell you, he is the India's carrot man. Okay. Now I would like him to give his experience. If you Google him, you'll find a lot of videos and everything. And Dr. Indramani, I told, I think they have cooperated with him a lot, whatever it is. Now I would make this session slightly different. I request Colonel Deswal to talk about how we went the journey through, and then I would request Dr. Gajan Singh to be like an interviewer, ask questions, because you're from the same gaon, same village. So I think you and Indramani can join with you, and probably you can ask some questions how it went through. Probably it'll be a good, interesting. We can try this time. I'll hand over the floor to Colonel Deswal, please.
Hello. Sir, very good evening. And I'm really grateful to Dr. Ismail to have introduced me to such an elite group, which I was listening to Dr. Sushma and Dr. Atul. I was finding it wherever I come, because I'm really feeling great and good. I don't have words to say thanks to all of you. Now I have been asked to tell about my journey as a farmer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, please continue. Please continue.
So I have been asked to share my story of getting into agriculture and all this. I will try to make it in 10 minutes, short 10 minutes. Sir, being in army, I was in a excellent unit, and I loved army, and there was nothing I was not happy with army or something like that. But there are stages came where I thought now I should do something different, and something different where I can make a difference to the society. So I belong to a farmer family, and whenever I used to go at home or I always used to hear poor farm and all this. Somehow that thing never stuck to me. I never accepted that. How can a person who has got land and all these things, because we were in North India, water was there, everything was there. I was seeing, how can it be like this? Anyway, one was this point. The second point was I was asking a friend of mine. So I said, now I want to do something outside. So what should I be doing? So he said, knowing your nature and culture, you can only do agriculture outside. That was his suggestion to me, because I used to always get into small fights on issues which people thought they are too small issues, but I always thought they are big issues. And that it remained like that only. For me, they were always big, and for people, they were always small. Anyway, finally, I decided to get into agriculture. And my brother, though I belong to Haryana, and my brother was settled in Bulandshahr. And the place where I come from, Haryana, there is a scarcity of water. And my parents used to hold a small piece of land. But I thought the place Bulandshahr is a much better place for farming. So a friend of my elder brother, I used to play cards with him while coming on leave. He was doing this pesticide and seed business. So I requested him, can we work together? So we said, okay, we will work together. So that's how we started here, and we had no land. I had actually no knowledge of farming, because at the age of 10 years, I went to Sainik school, and from there to NDA and to IMA and Army. When we started this, we took land on lease. That was a big chunk of land. If I say it, 250 plus 150, 400. 400 means around 60 acres land we started farming, taking on lease. And taking a tractor and all this, whatever money we had, we invested that. And we started doing farming. In 4 years, to cut it short, we lost everything. In 3 years, rather. Whatever we invested, it became zero. And we were cheated by one and all. We had no experience. My partner is elder to me. He's MSc in chemistry, a good businessman. But as farming, we lost everything. And we became laughing stock of the entire area. Especially people commented, hope you are listening to me. Am I audible?
Yeah, very well.
Yes, Colonel.
Smile,
Yes,
sir,
Colonel.
Dr. Smile, sir. Okay.
Yeah, very much audible.
Continue. Let's continue.
Continue, please.
Okay. So, then we were sitting in the tubal on a hired land and discussing about what were we sending to the market, and we call it patti. The Ardatiya, the commission agent, he sends back a patti. This was your product and this is how it was sold. The details of that. So first time I was seeing those pattis, and I was shocked and surprised. The amount he has committed, that gentleman, to us was, say, 500 per bag for 100 bags. What he had done in that patti was 20 bags or 10 bags, 500. Next 20, 400, 300, 250, like this. And average was 350, something like that. And that was a routine process. I asked my partner, Mr. Yadav, what is this? He said, it is like this only. This is exploitation. He said, it happens like this only. We can't do anything. We cannot sell this product anywhere. And we have to go, when we'll go to the other fellow, he will be worse than what he is, what this gentleman is. I told him I cannot go to sleep if I'm exploited. I know if I come to know I'm exploited, I cannot go to sleep. I'm ready to eat one chapati less. So Anyway, we were just discussing and we were fighting with each other. Then he said, tell me where, tell me, finally I told him we will leave this agriculture. He said, tell me, we will leave this agriculture once we decide which is the place where we will not be exploited. I had no answer. In the same evening, finally, we reached a solution. A bigger or a person who is more dominant, who has got more powers, who is more dominating, he can exploit a other person who is not in that position. Implies you become bigger, you become big, then you will not be exploited. So we started working. On that day, that evening, we decided we will become big in this carrot. In that year, we were doing, in that this total land, we were doing only 4 acres or 2 acres of carrots at that time. Next year, we imported a machine from Italy, and 3 years, what we had learned, where we had made mistakes, the people who had made fool of us, we corrected all those things and took an oath that we will sort out this. We will not run away from the situation. Next year, to be honest, we earned 85 lakh rupees in carrots only. We increased that quantity. We imported a machine from Italy. We changed the quality, quantity, everything we changed. And the result was seen. The exploitation ended that and there only. That is how we came out of that exploitation, because we felt that this is not correct. Now I'll come to the second point. What I have seen around is that all farmers are fighting on rates. You must get good rates. They are fighting with the government, whatever it is, MSP and all this. Yes, everybody can't be like us, but nobody is talking on reduction of cost of agriculture. We are success today. I would like to share that we are producing around about 20,000 metric tons of carrots, and we are the largest producer of carrots in India, and almost we are sending everywhere in India. The whole thing, what we worked was, we should three things we were working on: quality, quantity, commitment. And when we see other farmers, we don't find this quality, quantity, and commitment where we stand different. If we have quantity, if we have quality, if we have commitment, then I think the people will respect you in the market, and you will get your dues. Nobody can stop you. The problem is we have got small fragmentation of land, and what happens is, if I have got a 4 acre of land, I produce 80 tons of carrots. What will happen? Who is bothered about 80 tons of carrots in this? We are not able to unite a farmer independently. If he's working on 4 acres of land, his primary investment is 20 lakh rupees for equipment infrastructure. And for 20 acres also it is same. How can from the day one it becomes unviable? We understood this point. We consolidated the land. We joined the farmers with us. We put everything, our energy and our whatever we had, and we knew unless until we become big, we will be exploited. This thing I would like to say, would like to highlight, unless until we unite, we become bigger, like FPOs or something like that we make together, and I'll give an example. Say, we are the largest single buyer of seeds in India. And hence, we get at the most cheap rate in India, the seeds. Maybe you may say 70% of the cost. So 30% we are saving only in seed cost. Now, so unless now we are one of the largest buyers of, say, bags. As a normal farmer, if he gets, say, for 40 rupees, we will get at 32 rupees, 35 rupees. Everything we are getting cheap. Everything we are getting quality. Everywhere we are getting respect. The only thing is, we have become bigger. We have joined farmer with ourselves. And now, then, giving, what happens is, if you get in a technology, people don't share it. In our case, today, there are four basic things what is being used, this machinery part. One is sewing machine, one is harvesting machine, one is washing machine, and third is cold storage. All four things are in-house development, and that we have shared with everyone. As a result, our area, we challenge anybody in India that they cannot produce carrots lower than our cost. As a result, what is happening is, almost every day, if I give you an example of Hyderabad town, as on today, we are selling 45 to 50 tons of carrot every day in Hyderabad. Because that is happening because we have cut the cost. We are not asking for higher price of our product. We are asking the price what is prevalent, and we don't look forward for higher price. We have cut the cost by mechanization, by in-house development of the machinery part. It is difficult for me to explain unless until somebody sees it. Say, for example, we established the first carrot cold store of India in 2004. And we paid 5 lakh rupees to a consultancy, one of the best consultancy firms at that time, for establishing this cold store. And what happened, which generally happen in India, is that consultant never knew how to build a carrot cold store. As a result, we spent 4 to 5 times the cost of a cold store, and that cold store was a failure. And we came on road. The only strength with us was our agriculture. People may be saying anything about agriculture, but for last 20 years, we have not lost any money in farming for last 20 years. If we have lost money, it was in post-harvest, or in, say, seed were not correct or something like that. But in agriculture, we have not lost. I, being a son of a farmer, I, with due humility, will like to say, people who own land, I'm talking about my area in Uttar Pradesh, people who own land, they don't even spend 365 hours in a year at the farm. They have got all the time for panchayat election, for any marriage, for block pramukh election, for chairman election, for MLA election, for MP election, but they are not bothered about. They don't spend time at their farm. We, if you come and see us, almost 12 hours every day we are spending. My partner takes only maybe leaving that place for, say, in a year for 3 to 4 days only outside. Farmer must spend his time in the field he should be disciplined like an army soldier, because and he must act like a scientist. He must act as a labor, he must act like a soldier, he must act like a scientist. What we gathered after all these experiences, it is the most scientific subject in the world. Here you require all kind of science. Whatever under the earth you can imagine. This is my observation. Whether it is sunlight, whether it is wind, whether it is rain, whether it is water, whether it is soil, whether it is pesticide, herbicide, plants, whether it is engineering, whether it is marketing, whether it is storage, whether it is refrigeration, whether I tell you, if you get into all this, because we are in the total chain from growing to marketing, where storage and transporting, logistics, it requires a best logistical mind. It requires the best MBA mind to market. We have been marketing throughout India, and we understand, we know what it requires. But unfortunately, the person, if most of the people, uneducated people, have got into this. At times when we try to explain to some farmer, to our elder, he is not ready to accept. He says, for last 40 years, 50 years, I have been doing this. My father has been doing, my grandfather has been doing this. What will you teach me? If people have blocked their mind, I'm talking about the majority. If people have blocked their mind, what will they learn? So that's why first green revolution was something different. We were fighting for our stomach. And that were very basic things. But when we are looking for the second green revolution, my suggestion is, people like you, instead of doing all this you continue doing it. If we want to do service to this country, we must establish a seeing is believing. If in our area, if in our village, the people who got education in agriculture, who have worked in agriculture, they must start a small project where people can see it and believe it and can follow. I will, because why I'm saying it so strongly, because when we started in Bulandshahr, the people who were laughing on us, now they are spying on us. See what they are doing. Now, before we come, moment the people who are working with us as supervisors, etc., people bribe them to know what we are doing. Though we are not hiding anything, but still they feel that they are hiding something. If the worst part I find is, people who got degrees in agriculture, in engineering, in doctorate or anywhere, they were making buildings, dams, or say machines and all this. Doctors were treating patients and all that, educating also, making other doctors also. But in agriculture side, 99% you people never went back to the agriculture. But when you retire, my humble request is, you must make it a point to establish a small system. Because now say Dr. Atul was talking, it was great listening. Unless until you prove it, everything has to become if we are talking on agriculture, one is a science subject. You may spend crores of rupees to learn, to find out something or make something. But finally, the crux is the commercial agriculture. everywhere, whatever we are doing, it has to be commercially viable. And the people who are inventing this or who are discovering this, they have also got a duty to make it commercial viable. Unless until we make commercial viable, say poly houses. Haryana gave 90% subsidies. It means free of cost. But hardly any this poly house is a commercial viable.
Yes.
What is the point of that? I think I have spoken enough. There's a lot to speak.
Yes.
And some other time I'll take. I think I've taken more time. But the point, sir, is simple. We can do great things. You people are great, but my request is to please establish something. Now, if you come to Secunderabad, our place, Bulandshahr district, ours is now Frontline Rotor was writing an article. They wrote carrot capital of India. People, thousands of people are now working on carrot only. It has become the largest, one of the largest market of India. Now, Delhi, Azadpur has been left behind. They have been left behind. People are coming directly to Secunderabad. That is a subdivision. Nobody knows that. But the companies who are selling seed, they are coming directly from France and from Holland to from Japan to us, finding out where is this Secunderabad, where is this Colonel Saab. And farmers, they are lined up. They feel blessed if they are joined with us. The labor, the transport system. Now I will not be boasting, but I will like to share one thing. This middleman, we have made them the Azadpur Mandi is the Asia's largest mandi. We have made them totally ineffective. We are declaring the rate every week. They cannot decide our rate. They cannot decide our rate. The rate will be announced by us every week. We don't go to the mandi. They have to come to us every week. They have to come and give us payment here. For last 12 years, I never went to a mandi. Our terms and conditions are when they come, they will be respected here. We will not be bossy. We will be respecting them, but we will not go to the mandi. And they are nobody to decide our rates. Now, sir, sorry for taking all this time and becoming little scientific, but now I'll request you.
No.
Thank you, Colonel Deswal. Thank you.
Colonel,
Very much.
thank you, Colonel. It's taking your time. We thank you very much. This much, really, it's your passion towards the agriculture in India, how the educated people have to come out to be an example to others. We all really respect and appreciate. We'll have the questions the last because we have one more speaker and we are running short of time. I'm sorry, I apologize. We'll just
sorry, I'm sorry I've taken more time.
No problem. It's very interesting because I wanted the people to hear your voice because you are a very important person made it and directly everybody have opportunity to listen to you. That is very important. So I like to call the next one is important one. This is also important. Like we have Colonel, we have a person who IT Parks. IT Parks is very important. All the youngsters studying IT. IT is bursting today or whatever it was there, 10 years, 15 years, all the children. For example, most of the professors and everybody, educated people, they send the children to US because IT. So India also has a lot of IT parks. And there how somebody is trying to bring out the urban agriculture in the IT park. That's very interesting. So I like to invite Rajesh. Rajesh has last time already spoken a little bit. Rajesh, please start your talk, please. Rajesh, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. After a very inspiring speech from Colonel, sir, let me make. I'm trying to make a small presentation. I'll try to make it interesting. Good evening to
Rajesh. Sorry,
yeah,
introduce yourself shortly. Introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm Rajesh Sundarajan. a master's in horticulture from Annamal University, Tamil Nadu, and currently settled in Mumbai as a landscape horticulturist working with a leading construction company. Okay. So good evening to all the participants, and thank you, Syed sir, for giving me an opportunity to speak on this platform in front of all these veterans. And I also thank Venkat sir for continuously encouraging me to deliver this presentation. Okay, let me go into my thing. Is the screen fully visible? Make it
you can make it full screen if you want.
Yes. That would be
better.
Yeah,
please.
Right. It's
yes.
better.
Good.
Yeah. Let me switch off my camera so that it will take a lesser wave.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That's right. Every time I land in Mumbai airport, I always wonder how it would be if I can convert at least 10% of the empty-looking open terraces into an organic farming. What if one society can grow palak and one society can grow methi and someone can grow maybe a carrot or brinjal or radish, and then they all come together and just go back like our olden days of bartering system, and then they can still have a very healthy and fresh zero carbon footprint vegetables. So let me just give a glimpse like how this concept of urban farming or edible landscaping came into my mind, how the seed came into me. During one of my Viva session during my college, and my pomology course teacher during my course of Viva, she was just asking me a question like, what tree would you plant if given a choice in a children's playground? So I listed all the ornamental trees, and that came to my mind, and she asked me, why not a fruit tree? So I said, no one plants a fruit tree in a playground since children will be plucking the fruits and they will be throwing stone at it. And she said that exactly that is the reason you should plant a fruit tree, because children are supposed to eat fruits, and that is to ensure that nutrition thing, they have to be taken care. And this one discussion, maybe it's not extended for more than 2 minutes, but it's got deeply embedded in my mind. After I came to Mumbai 25 years back, still I recall that incident. And I was always fascinated about this edible landscaping concept. 10 years back, I just came across an article in about Microsoft. This Microsoft was allocating individual plots for their employees inside their 700-acre campus. And every employee were given a small section of it, and they were allowed to grow vegetables as an individual and as a team, and they were allowed to take it back to their home. And they found that this one thing builds a lot of team bonding between each other, and this is a very good exercise for them because they always sit in front of a screen, and just to de-stress themselves, they just come out. Okay, so I took this is an excellent thing, but unfortunately, when I tried, if anyone is trying this concept in India 10 years back, I found none of my colleagues in across the country were trying this concept in IT parks or any in the workplace. This one, so I thought, let me make a small effort in this area, which no one has tried it. So unfortunately, in landscaping, it's always like maintenance. They only use these ornamental plants, lawns, and flowering shrubs and trees. And horticulturists are mostly trained to only do this maintenance aspect of landscaping. That do particularly very aesthetic landscaping only, because it's not their fault, because the architects and landscape designer give them this and they just implement it. So you need people who come out of this mindset. So I thought, let me try this. Okay, so every year normally when we conduct a green initiative, we just take this tree plantation drive as common every year. So for a change, I just told the client, for this change, every year we have been doing tree plantation drive. We have done enough trees. So for a change, why not we go for a growing vegetable in the campus? So they were really thrilled about the idea. So I just gave them all the inputs like your soil, manure, or the bags, in fact, low cost thing. Like since a construction company, we had this gunny bags. So we had this composting thing happening inside my campus. So I didn't need to buy manure. So I just gave them all the soil, manure, everything inside the campus. And they started growing the seeds, and they saw it happening live in front of them, the germination, the flowering, the fruit set, and they harvested about 50 kg of the fruits, and they donated it to an orphanage. And they have this green points, which has to be scored for the green initiative across the globe. And out of all the companies across the globe, this one small unit won the best initiative. So this small thing actually inspired me to take this and make it bigger. So I thought,
Rajesh, sorry,
yeah,
please continue.
Yes. Yeah. So this is where we started the first time. Like, for example, you can see how the plot is selected. And the moment we select the plot, it should be open area, as you see, like where, because since IT Park, the space is we have constraint in spaces. So we don't have a choice. Wherever I get a space, I just rush in there and then put up the request, and then I just grab the place. And luckily, my management has not objected till now. And we invite the clients, we share them the calendar for sowing the seeds and invite them, and they just join us. It's a party time for them because it's a break from the normal routine. And we try what nots, all the vegetables and seeds, you name it, we try them in the IT Park. Right from sugarcane, you will see the list, I'll be sharing it shortly. So once they sow, and we invite them to come back during the lunch break, they come, they take care of the plants, and they do the watering, and we encourage them to do the weeding so that they have a little more attached to these plants. So once the season, at the end of the season, we just invite them again for the harvest. Again, it's a group harvest. And see, like it is, they come empty-handed and they go back hands full. And you know what type of feeling they get, because since they know it's an organic thing, they don't even wash it. Like they pluck the tomato and they pluck the cucumbers, or they pluck the bendi, and then they just test to see the taste of it. Like when we talk organic, and when they see it is really organic, and then they see how fresh it is, and the joy they get is different. In fact, we invite those family members along with the kids. For example, you see this photo where actually they have never seen a sweet potato grown they have never seen a sweet potato plant itself. In fact, when the parents and the kids, they join together and I show them, see, this is the area where you can dig and find a treasure out. So they didn't know what I'm talking about. The moment they started digging that area and they found sweet potatoes under the ground, first time they realized that sweet potatoes grow below the ground. So it's an education for both the parents and the kids. So it's like a joint family learning in the urban farming. This is something, when we don't have space in the ground, we look up at the sky, and we get the terraces, and we start doing the same operation, but instead of doing it on the ground, we take it up on the containers, and the same thing, soil filling, soil and manure filling, seed and seedling sowing, and seed sowing and seedling planting. And since this being an terrace on above their roof, they just harvest it and then take it back down to their desktop, rooftop to the desktop, and then directly to the kitchen for the dinner. We try different concepts here. What we share with these people, like a simple one is this square feet gardening. This is very simple and easy concept, which we always teach to people. Like this 4 feet by 4 feet simple square, we gets converted into 16 squares, and they try to grow about, we can grow about 16 different type of vegetables. For example, the depth of the soil over there is 1 feet, and very simple and easy concept introduced by Mr. Mel Bartamilo, what we call, like this is absolutely no competition among the plants, because they are so densely planted. And for example, you get about 16 radish, 16 methi, 16 dhania, and you can plant one brinjal plant, one a tomato, and one maybe capsicum. So the more the size of bigger size of the plant, you restrict to one, and the smaller the one, and you can plant about 16 of them into that. And we can even make a trellis out of this and make the creepers climb over there. And this can be kept on a table, and even a senior citizen, people who are sitting on a chair, they can even operate it. And hardly you need 1 bucket of water to maintain the whole thing in a day. And in Mumbai, you know, the problem for us is the very space constraint over here. We all have balconies, or very small balconies, or we hardly have a grill, and I need to occupy that. That is the space all I have, and if I'm lucky, I get some good sunlight. And so still people would like to grow. So here we have been growing. Hello. Yeah. Here actually, this gutter pipe, which we normally use for the drainage thing, semi-cut PVC pipes, which is closed on both the end. We fill the media into that, and that can be fitted on your grill, and you can grow vegetables, mostly shallow-rooted ones in this. And normally, whenever we have a workshop, the common questions or challenge we face is from people is, sir, मुझे बाहर जाना पड़ता है, like I cannot water my plants daily, and there is no one in my house who can do the watering. So what do I do? So we try to evolve different solutions, and this one is the same thing, non-circulating hydroponics method. The best one is the Kratsky method. You find a lot of videos in the net. You can try this Kratsky's method, and we just fill the solution into the nutrient solution and the water into it, and then the plant starts growing on its own. You can just simple diagram shown here, and we found this very effective. In fact, all the containers which we are using is recycled. In fact, the bottles which you are showing, or in fact the thermocol containers which normally we drink and throw away, those containers are used here. So everything is recycled here. We don't spend much on developing these concepts. So that people, anyone who comes, feel like, yes, even I can do this, or I can replicate this. I don't need to go to a supermarket to buy this fancy pots and all those stuff. And here, this one is very interesting thing. Like for example, if I'm growing in a normal pot, I may grow about 10 or 10 made. This one which I was showing, the tower, 3 gentlemen standing over there, it's actually a mint plant. Okay, so if I'm growing on a pot, normally I may not be able to grow more than 10 mints in this. The same, when we took it vertical, we had more than 125 mint plants inside this, and it has been continuously giving me mint for almost last 3 to 4 years, and there is no stopping that. And the portion above that, we actually go for big plants like brinjal or tomato or capsicum or chilies. So you grow for multi-tier, and this concept is very interesting because in Kenya there is this. There is a slum area where actually there was post-election, there was some violence, and almost women and children got trapped there, and there is huge shortage of food. Okay, and there is this Solidarities. There is an NGO from France. They went all the way to teach these people in the slum this concept of this sack gardening, which you're seeing on the right side corner. So the ladies, they started growing food in the sack gunny bags, and that started feeding their children and family, and they started generating food, like income for their family. So in fact, the small gunny bag garden, that's changed the way the people were staying there, and in fact, they are created entrepreneurs out of this. And we start self-watering pots, which we everything out of low cost. We teach them self-watering pots, and recycling of PET bottles and shade net, which is discarded, we convert them into containers. And this shade net which you are seeing there, they cover the walls, and then we grow all the vegetables on the shade net. It's very easy to do that. Anyone can try this. And microgreens we grow inside the office, and then we had replaced that habit of eating biscuits in the office with the microgreens. In fact, we encourage people to do it at home. So one healthy snacking in the office is something which everyone look forward to. And the small list of the vegetables, which and fruits, vegetables, and herbs which you have tried in the more than 45, and this list is getting added every time. Someone comes with a new variety of seeds, and then we share that, and then we try it in our urban farming. It keeps on increasing every time. And as Atul was telling some very nice, interesting thing about the indoor lighting to grow the plants. And this concept we have introduced inside our office spaces, where this LED lightings are being used to grow herbs, particularly after Corona. We are using this corners as immunity corner, where we are growing tulsi, basil, ajwain, all sorts of herbs. The beauty is, as Dr. Atul was telling, the plants, they don't need the full solar radiation. All they need is somewhere about 400 to 700 nanometer. And even to a plant in the field, to attain that level of lux intensity, maybe if for example, if the sun is about 11 to 2 or to 3 o'clock, so that's the maximum they get the active PR, photosynthetic active radiation. But the beauty in this light is the moment I switch on, I get the maximum required light intensity and the photons, and I switch off, yes. So which means the normal plant, which it takes, for example, 60 days to grow, I reach the same growth in 45 days. So that's grows very fast, and we have self-watering unit inside this. So no one we don't bother about that. One next interesting thing which we have tried in urban farming is like we keep doing something or other new so that we have to attract the millennials to the place outside the office, because hardly they come out of the office. The moment they go inside the office, they are working for a different time zone, and they either come out for smoking or just a break or tea, coffee, and then they go back. So we want to do something interesting to make them come back to this urban farming. So we keep on changing it. So this one, because people have a butterfly garden in their campuses, but I thought, let me have a butterfly house. So we showed people the different stages of butterfly life, right from egg, larva, pupa, adult, and we have a butterfly emerging window, the right top corner on the left side you see, and the second photo are those cocoons which are hanging, and you can see butterflies literally emerging out of this thing like this. See, these are the photos which were taken in this. So the butterflies emerge out, and then they 2 to 3 hours, because their wings are wet, so they don't take a flight immediately. It takes some time, and the youngsters see this is the type of experience. This is a once in a lifetime experience the millennials get, and this is worth it, really worth it. And urban farming in an IT park, and we generate a huge volume of food waste in the campus, because more than 1 lakh people are working. So every day 4 to 5 tons of food waste comes to us, and what we do is we turn the entire thing into compost. And the horticulture waste, about 50 acres of campus, each campus about 50 acres. Campus, again, we convert those into vermicompost, and all these things comes back to me for my urban farming as the fertilizer. So last 10 years, I have now purchased manure from outside, and including my landscape area, all these things goes there. And the type of impact this has got on us is more than 300 people keep visiting urban farming thing to learn and relax every day. And many kitchen garden people, in fact, people have during the lockdown, people who have visited and learned there, they started doing it and they started connecting back to me. That's a very big impact, I felt like. And as I mentioned, like the wet and horticulture waste, whatever generator getting composted there, and more than 40 to 50 varieties, and we keep on adding and changing it every season, and people keep coming back and back to see that what's coming new in the urban farming. And because of the very positive feedback from the clients, actually the management decided this concept had to be there in all the future projects. And inspired by urban farming, there was a neighboring some school who we invited, and those children wanted to have something similar in their school, and we built one urban farming involving those kids, and that is very close to my heart. And the challenge is edible landscape. Actually, it's very new to the landscape architects, and not many would be interested in venturing there, because that needs some area of expertise which is not belong to them. And space is very precious in urban areas, and urban farming requires a huge space, and not all corporates should be ready to spare those type of space for this exclusive activity, because in Mumbai, for a place like Mumbai, every square feet it's money like. And you need horticulturists who think beyond normal landscape maintenance, because when you want to venture into this area, you need to first educate yourself, and you need to keep connected to the visitors continuously, and you need to answer them very patiently. Because, for example, I used to get queries like, it'll be very funny, but people come to me and ask like, watermelon जमीन के ऊपर होता है क्या, नीचे होता है, और ये paddy चावल का झाड़ पेड़ में आता है क्या, मतलब. So it first time I was shocked, but then I realized they have never visited a village, so it's not their fault. So so you need to be very patient when you reply to these IT people. But I had a very long journey of last 10 years learning, interacting them, and today I'm very happy that I'm able to share this thing with you. And as mentioned here, growing your own food is like printing your own money. Once you learn this art of growing your food, then you don't need to. It's like a very, very self-sustainable lifestyle we can lead, and urban farming is one among them. And thank you everybody for your patience listening.
Thank you, Rajesh. Can you stop sharing, please?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, I really appreciate with the pressure what we have of time. I think you finished in correct time. I thank you very much. I think for that, because one of the problems we have as a host is to make the timings fit properly, so everybody gets an opportunity to express. Everybody's important. So now I leave the floor open for discussions, questions. I see already one hand of Dr. Narendra Shah. Can you please ask question short because we don't have much time. So please ask your question short and tell whose speaker you are going to ask the question. Dr. Narendra Shah, please.
Yeah, I have one question to Dr. Sushma and one to Atul. The question to Sushma is, although she made a presentation on use of slurry from biogas digester, if she has a scope, many biogas digesters in the field are not working because 1 kg of dung requires 1 kg water. Shortage of water, biogas digesters are stopped. So if you have any scope to work on the digester system, how can you sort of the impact of using less water on the slurry and if it is possible? So that was a question to Sushma. Shall I wait for the answer or shall I ask Dr. Atul?
Yeah, you ask Atul.
Yeah. So Atul, my question to you is in one of the slides you show that there has to be light, dark, light, dark. So what happens if we keep 24 hours light? That is the question.
Sir, yeah. Shall I answer
Yeah.
or?
Yeah, Sushma, can you please answer, Dr. Sushma?
Yes, sir.
Can you please answer?
What is the that question is yes, it is true that even sir during 97 we have installed one biogas plant that was defunct as the parts are not available. Some of the biogas plants it is true that is defunct and we are getting less biogas slurry. But in this case, sir, we'll try that how much biogas slurry it is coming and we are that is generated from biogas.
Okay.
And what are the problems and how much water to be put into this. So that ratio we'll find out, sir.
Yeah, solid state fermentation as we call it. Solid state fermentation.
Solid.
Yeah, I think it's a concept stage. I think you can help. And now I would request Atul to please answer for the lighting. Full-time light is on, what will happen? Full-time you're eating, what will happen?
Yeah, sir, maybe because of the connectivity. The answer to the question to Shah sir is, just like a human to require the sleep, the photosynthesis process required the dark reaction in which the beta carotene will be in the process. So whatever the photosynthesis sequence is there, in that one, there dark reaction is required, and for that purpose, we have to give the dark period for the growth of the plant.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, next question, Ravi Shankar Natarajan. I think he was there in webinar 2. He gave a talk. He is a marketing guy. I think he will tell. He's agri market. Please, Ravi Shankar, ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I just wanted to have clarification from Colonel, who spoke about carrot. It's really a fantastic job that he's done and is doing. So one question is, did he consider looking at going beyond carrot, or is it only carrot they're working on? And second, of course, I want to know kind of number of farmers that he is now working with in the carrot. And third, I would like to meet him sometime and maybe set up a call with him to understand more in detail as to how we tamed the market.
Okay, good. Colonel, please. Colonel Deswal, you can reply his question if you can.
Not there, is it?
No, you have to unmute yourself. Colonel Deswal. He asked, Ravi Shankar asked, are you going to stop only with carrot or are you going to go ahead with other crops also? Are you hearing me, Colonel? I think you're muted.
Colonel Deswal, please unmute. No, again, you
unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you speak.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Now you see, sir, I think the carrot is one of very, very important crop which India never realized. And we were the first to realize the importance and work on that. And today we find we have achieved only 10% of what we should be doing after doing all this. That is the level we can go in carrots.
Audio is not too clear. Huh?
Yeah. I think what he told, he Only 10% he has covered the capacity in carrot, so he's going to go for it.
Okay.
And I would, Ravi, I will connect between both of you. Okay, that I will do it today night or tomorrow. I'll try to connect you both. Okay,
that would be nice.
I will take the next question from Caroline. Can you please ask your question, Dr. Caroline?
Yeah, thank you, sir. One question to Dr. Sushma and one to Colonel. Dr. Sushma, see, we are working on energy requirement. And what we observe is almost all the crops, fertilizer application is a 50% energy requirement. So when we are changing to slurry, I think we are able to give the energy required by the slurry, it will be useful for the system.
Yes, that I will work out, madam. Because this is a starting and this is a concept just I have presented, and here in the initial stage. So all those things will consider when we will develop the complete system. Thank you, madam, for your suggestions that we will incorporate.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
You have a question for Colonel.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sir, are you branding your carrots? Now branding is being talked a lot. Since it's I mean commercially traded across India, have you branded it?
Ma'am, firstly, we never thought in a fresh product like vegetable, branding has got much importance. The thing is, whatever the best brand you may say, the buyer will see the vegetable and then only they will buy. If the best of the brands you say Amul or whatever it is, if you send a vegetable and it is not good, you send a fruit. But anyway, after all this, we decided, now what happens is we were selling in the wholesale market and we were using bags which were printed. But what happened was, those bags were purchased by other people and were re-circulated in the market with our name, with their product. This India is a beautiful country.
I know. No, will brand them. No, Colonel will brand. I think
I'll just share one other thing also, sir. This year we got a project sanctioned, about 26 crore rupees project sanctioned from the Ministry of Food Processing, and we were to brand and all that and packaging, retail packaging and all that we were to start, and with IQF and hydrocooling and all that. But somehow we got stuck in red tapeism. We could not get the approval of the land use change where we wanted to set up, and it is still stuck with the government of Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
And if it is approved in the due course of time, then we will go for this.
Okay. Thank you, Colonel. I think because I have got some announcement to make also, I would love first Jitendra Srivastava. He has raised his hand. I see him. Srivastava, you can please share your comments. Yeah, Srivastava, please, you can speak.
We can't hear him. He's speaking, but he seems to be. We can't hear.
You're mute. No, but his mic is problem. He's not muted. But Dr. Gajan Singh, you can tell your comment in the meantime. Now, Jitendra, can you speak? No, he's having problem with his mic. If you can hear me, you're having some problem with your mic connection. Remove it and put the connection, or again call back. No problem. We'll wait. In the meantime, Dr. Gajan Singh.
Well, I think the very interesting presentations, especially I like the Colonel Deswal's presentation. Colonel Deswal, my village is near Khurja, so not very far from your Sikandrabad. Okay. But let me tell you the challenge.
Yeah.
See, the big challenge is how to really organize farmers into group. And one way I see that agriculture universities have to change some system. We have to start recruiting students who will be doing farming. And if in 3-4 years of a degree program, we can train them in certain area, okay, complete system as a farmer. As Colonel Deswal told you, farmer has to be such a multidisciplinary person, okay, where everything under the sky he has to know, okay. So if we train these students as future farmers, rather than too much of theory and all those things, I think if they are given a field of, let's say, 5 hectares for a group of 5 people or something like that, and they do this as a commercial trade from the very beginning, and then they go back to the society, set up sample farmers, demonstration farms, and then if the farmers are convinced that this is something to follow them, then I think we can do a big revolution. The question is, we ourselves talk a lot on the webinars and seminars and everywhere, but many of us as agriculture scientists ourselves don't feel confident. As Colonel said, that if you don't do it early, at least you can do after retirement. Even that, we don't take that. So I think something has to relate with the education and its use of education. And I wanted to know from Colonel Deswal, how really you can organize these FPOs. What is the way? Because the farmers it's very difficult to put them together. They can come under a business model, but how to really make those business models successful?
Sir, universally, majority of the people can understand the language of money. If you want FPO, etc., though I was saying it can work, it is one of the ways, but I don't find in the present situation in our country where we are living, I am living with all these people, I don't think brothers are not working together. Forget about FPO.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
that has to be followed. Our model is to be studied. We are the boss of everything in our model, but we have ensured the farmers who are working with us gets the double of the income what they were doing. That language is understood by all. Secondly, very honestly, I will accept that even God cannot make farmers satisfied. With the double income also, he is not satisfied.
Yes.
He tries to, it is a very interesting thing. I am also in the learning process. Now he is thinking, they are earning 4 times, 6 times than me. He doesn't know. Sir, we have not taken even a single penny for last 20 years from this project. We are not drawing any salary from this project. For last 6 months, we are taking some money as a salary. Otherwise, I am working with my pension. My family is doing with that pension. All that money has gone into this only.
So, what do you say?
We have ensured the farmer cannot go, because moment he goes, he loses. There is no alternative to him. Otherwise, he is not satisfied with anyone. Even God cannot make him satisfied. But we ensure that he gets 2 to 2.5 times. Number one. Number two, if he is working with us here, he doesn't have to invest. We are giving wherewithal. But in this bargain, to select these people, we have lost crores of rupees. People have borrowed that money. Yes,
I think
but unless until, sir, say again. You're saying
go ahead,
something?
please. No, go ahead, please.
it is a very, very deep side. It is for their own problems. People who are okay financially, their children are okay, whose stomach is filled, they can talk of values. They can talk of honesty. The problem is today the rural population, the farmer is in distress. How he will talk of values and all this? It is a catch-22 situation. But people, if people like you and me work, we can make a difference in a big way, in a small area.
Thank you. Thank you, Colonel. I think Jitendra Srivastava, you're back again?
Yeah, I don't know. Can you hear me again? Or
I can hear you very well. We all can hear. Please go ahead.
First of all, I just very quick one. I really feeling that what you are doing, Dr. Ismail and the group, is really doing enormous work. I found Colonel Subhas Deshpalji's.
Go ahead, please.
Hello, this is Jason here.
Yeah, and Jitendra, you're not completed? Dr. Srivastava? We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you, please. Go ahead.
Just wanted to say that these are the examples of Colonel Subhas Deshwal as well as the IT parks are extremely good example which many places are required and people need it. I just was wondering, right now, there is a World Bank proposal being developed under Yogi Ji's direction with the director of, with the Minister of Agriculture to promote a bit of urban agriculture because of the high population, etc. I would urge if some of you could give them a little bit of technical information, it will be very useful. I can talk about it separately. But
Okay.
I feel India has enormously good examples, success stories. They need to be adopted and helped for greater uptake. And thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, Jitendra Srivastava. This is a very interesting what you told. We will get it to that actually. And actually, I'm running short of time. I first make an announcement, then I will allow to continue the question. Next session, we are going to have interesting one because what Colonel told also, we have to really, the polyhouses, he told 90% subsidy and all. So from webinar 2 also, we had a long discussion about the polyhouses to do. So next webinar, next Saturday, we will not have a YouTube broadcast. So, but we will send you the link to join the meeting directly. It will be a closed meeting on dedicated to only polyhouses as well as vertical farming related. Okay, that's my the message I want to give now. Now there is one question. Jason, please.
Yeah, good evening and thank you very much. So this is a question to Mr. Rajesh. So my son has just finished his 10th standard and he is interested in architecture. So he wants to do a diploma in engineering with architecture and then later a lateral entry into engineering with architecture. So just would like to know if you could spare maybe 30 minutes a month to just encourage him and maybe and he's already very fond of plants and animals and asked me to buy some land for him for farming, which I'm not able to do right now, but he's taking care of a lot of pigeons and things like that right now. So is it possible to connect some time on this and just encourage him on this? Thank you.
Okay, Rajesh.
Anytime.
Okay, okay. I will. I think if you can contact Jason, I will give the contact for Rajesh, everything.
Yes.
Now, I think
yeah,
we are coming
I'll
to
put
the...
my email ID and phone number on the thing. Chat.
Please, you can connect.
Okay,
No problem.
Please. Okay. Anybody else has a last question, Dr.
No, Dr. Ismail, I just
Yeah,
have
please,
one point.
please. Oh,
I
Ramesh
think-
Deshpande. Yeah. Sorry, please.
You know, I want to tell this group that we are setting up this India Agriculture Group, India Agriculture Advancement Group, international group, you know, with
Yes,
international experts and Indian experts coming together for technology transfer and others. By that said, I just have a question that conservation agriculture have a very different set of issues, and urban agriculture. I don't know. You advertise conservation and urban together. I think urban agriculture has very different issues and different challenges. So how do you have to handle it? Can you keep these issues? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we thought about it. I thought about it for a long time. Actually, it's urban agriculture is separate. The people are different than with what CA. CA covers a total. Actually, the idea of conservation agriculture is about the land, soil, environment.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's why I said you. Yeah, but you are.
We have experts in both. You see, ultimately both are related. Actually, unless urban agriculture, you got to produce vegetables and stuff like that. Right now, it's done outside.
I will send you a paper. We are developing a paper. Whether India should have a national policy for conservation agriculture. We have all ad hoc programs going on. We don't have in place a national policy on conservation agriculture. Do you have one?
Yes. No.
Do we have? No.
Dr. Gajen Singh will reply.
Yeah, I think I was the one who introduced both the topics. I think
it's okay. Very good.
These are two extremes, okay, of the spectrum we are talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So the conservation agriculture is still at the field level, at the farm level. Okay.
Exactly.
So that is to improve the conventional agriculture. Okay, make it more efficient, more resource efficient, basically. Okay, and improve productivity and all that. While the urban agriculture is to grow food near the consumption area, okay, and make people also involved in it. So I think we need both. I agree, both are different, but this way we cover the whole spectrum of people and keep everybody.
That is fine. That is fine. I just wanted to
switch from one topic to another depending upon the interest and availability.
No, I think Gajendra Singh ji, we talked about it before. I think on conservation agriculture is a very high priority issue. You know, I mean, urban agriculture, of course, is important, but you know, there are very different challenges. I mean, roof garden.
Yeah.
Roof gardening is one aspect, but that is you can call it urban agriculture. But now the new trend is create self-standing, multi-floor.
We're talking vertical farming a lot. So
yeah, we already had a session, 2-3 sessions we had already in the same what you're talking about. Only this session we had the IT park. Like
I know. I'm not. I'm just trying to clarify ideas. But I think we should collaborate on conservation agriculture. Why not you please, we can help with you and I, we can exchange ideas and we can involve this Amir Qasim of FAO, did a lot of international work. Whether we can have a national policy in conservation agriculture. How do you handle it? Number one. Number two, how do you reach the communities? You see, it is at the technical level, at agriculture department level, communities are not involved. So whether a developmental model for conservation agriculture requires community involvement, how do you get there? You see, existing government programs do not permit working with communities somehow, very few. So I think that is a big issue on conservation agriculture. I would request Dr. Gajendra Singh ji and you to think about it, and we can take a self-standing session on conservation agriculture. What are the policy issues in conservation agriculture?
Yeah,
when you talk to the CIMMYT people, I think they have some related issues on that one with ML JAT and all. I will talk.
So we should really take up that question. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Manzul, welcome. After a long time, very
quick reaction. So we are talking about this conservation agriculture management, but one of the recent terms FAO is coining is NBS, nature-based solutions, and actually this is FAO headquarters. They are doing for some time, and it has come to regional office in Bangkok recently, and they contacted us to help them in this approach. This is basically what we just talk about, conservation agriculture or something like that, and they have published a few reports done by a consultant based in Vietnam and Singapore. It's called ISEM. And those reports I'll share in this group, maybe to Dr. Ismail, then you can circulate. Because FAO regional office, they need help on this, and they are asking us as a geospatial person to help them organizing this NBS.
Where are you located? Where are you located, Dr. Hazarika?
Bangkok.
I'm in Bangkok. I'm in Bangkok.
Bangkok.
Right.
I will forward it, Ramesh.
I need to connect with him. Yeah, thank you.
Manjul, at AIT, you got almost this $1 million project related to food agriculture, no?
Yes.
The food agriculture and bioresource group, I was reading about them. Okay.
Right.
Which is my old AFE. So, that's a big project on the food agriculture and bioresources. Yes.
So actually, our center, as you know, this FAO now, this director general is a Chinese guy. He's a vice minister of China. He's a very techno-savvy guy. And there's a lot of pressure on FAO to make it more high technology, IoT, this and that. So this FAO regional office has come to us for last 2 years, and we are helping them on all this. So this NBS is actually, I think this group can, they need a lot of consultancy on this also. So this group can help actually. So that's the only thing I want to. I need your help also to make it.
You, Manzul, anytime. Absolutely for you, absolutely. I think. Thank you, friends. I think we are nearing the end of it. I think very long today. I apologize to all the people. We are 40 minutes behind the schedule, but I think we have done a good, very good, excellent presentations we have. Like next week, Saturday, we will not have on YouTube. But we'll have in the meeting, so I will send you all the invite to come. This will be on polyhouse. Okay. Intention is to use all the polyhouses. Like we put on so many polyhouses, how to utilize it, what are the challenges in the country. So this is general requirement now in our group also. Many people want it. So we try to have it next week. That's for information. Closing words, anybody want to, Dr. anything? Closing words?
No, I think I have said enough.
Thank you. All of
Yeah.
Unless somebody has still, I'll give you one, but then otherwise, thank you very much. I think I don't know how to thank all of you to have contributed. I will request again, please, those who volunteer for a speech or what you want to give something to talk about it, idea, please write, please send a mail, and I welcome more people to come and interact. Like starting a session, somebody told me only few people from the group also come to the program. Doesn't matter, we have 80 of people, but then at least 20 come, it's okay. At least better than nothing. I think we have started a very good start. We've got excellent speakers coming voluntarily. I think I thank you very much once again.
Sir, I want to tell one point. I have just put my concept, sir. So I request all the group members, if anybody is having any suggestions, because this is initial stage, so we can incorporate and we can come a valid conclusion and with some technology, and then it's upscaling. Thank you, sir. I need some suggestions.
It's an excellent.
Please share her email. Yeah, please share.
Of course, I will share. See, the excellent, because this is what I want. The concept in nature, people can help instead of waiting for 3-4 years and afterwards you publish a research paper. People comment, this is the problem, that is the problem. I think this is the best idea. I think we should continue in all the probably.
Please consider this concept of PROM, because it's getting a lot of interest in. Maharashtra, at least I know that there is an NGO called BIAF which is trying to promote this PROM from slurry, the phosphorus rich organic manure. So if your slurry